Click.
Oh yeah, I can see we are live.
Yes, here we go. Guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I have amazing guest from beautiful Balearic island of Ibiza, Martine de Petter, one of my amazing co-authors of our amazing book, One, Your Only Guide to Body, Mind and Soul. Martine, welcome. Thank you so much for popping in.
Thank you for inviting me. Pleasure.
Yes, I gave, basically this morning, early in the morning, intro to you, how I am so impressed with everything that you stand for, what you do. But just briefly for the guests, for our audience who did not have a chance to see that post, Martine is originally from Belgium, but now she lives in Spain, in island of Ibiza, like I said, for basically over 20 years, right, Martine? You're in Ibiza.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, since '99.
I have been the closest to you to Mallorca and Barcelona. Never actually touched up on your island. That's a plan. I know it's a big party island. You must be a party girl.
Well, not all. I have been twice in a discotheque in the 20 years.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so Martine is.
It's not my.
Martine, I have to say, the fact that you're dealing with ancient Chinese medicine, you are the very first person I met who actually is an expert in this field. I was super impressed. Now look, ladies and gentlemen, this delicate, beautiful lady, she has a third dan black belt in karate. She has so many other talents. Martine, why don't you take over and tell people what else you do? Because I don't want to mess up all your accomplishments.
Well, my second life started when I was 40. Before I was in marketing, and I was quite bored in marketing. I was good at it, but I was bored. I felt there was something else to do. And it all started because of my son. He's to blame. I enrolled him in a karate school, and he said, "Mom, why don't you come with me?" And I said, "Of course, I'll come with you. I'll come and watch you." And he said, No, you have to start doing it. And I said, "You're joking, son. I'm far too old for this." And he said, "No, come on." And I started, and I was hooked.
That's cool. That's cool. When my daughter was doing ballet, I used to go with her, and I took classes for about a year, which I used to be a ballerina as a child. But yeah, I never actually proceed with it like yourself. I mean, you went all in. That's awesome.
Well, I stopped for about 15 years because I didn't have time. And then in 2009, I was already in Ibiza. I had been in Ibiza for over 10 years. I thought, right, I need some exercise. I need to do something. And I just popped along into a karate dojo here. And I thought, well, why not? But I could not do the style I had done before. So I had to start from scratch. And it was end of 2009. And I decided that by 2012, I would have my first black belt, and I did.
There you go. And now you are an expert on Qigong. You are an expert on so many other things. So please tell me, you are you started a clinic, right, in Ibiza that you actually heal.
Can't call it a clinic.
It's a center for. What is it called exactly? I don't want to mess up.
Ancient, traditional and classical ancestral techniques, Chinese ancestral techniques.
Yes.
I can't wear Chinese medicine.
That's right. And this stuff is fascinating. Your clients get amazing results. But before we get into everything you do, I would love to ask you, how are you? How are you these days in Ibiza? How is everything there? I mean, Spain is up there with the cases of all this virus going crazy. How you doing? You look healthy and vibrant and...
Well, that is because I have a routine. I stick to my routine.
Mm-hmm.
Corona or no corona. So I try to listen to the requirements imposed by the government, because there are certain precautions to take, of course. But there's a little abuse in certain parts. Right, there's big panic amongst the population. which is understandable.
Mm.
This is due largely to the media. Being sick and tired of answering to various comments. I spend my days on the phone.
Wow.
I spend days on the phone, WhatsApp, Messenger to answer to patient. Now, my patients, I do understand they are worried. So, but what I don't like is that some of them are watching whatever on the social media,
Yes.
and then I get inundated with videos that I have to watch. And I said, what do you think of that? What's your opinion about this? And I spend my days doing that. So I thought I would enjoy my time off and read and do research, but I haven't opened a book yet. In the 10 days that we are in lockdown, I haven't been able to because of this crisis situation.
Yeah.
Now, I do empathize with my patient, and a lot of them, they need to be reassured. One of them this afternoon phoned me, and she said she's got it. She's got the corona. So I gave her a few advice. She's already a patient that in morphological blood analysis, and I said, have you done this and this that are recommended to you when you came? And she said no. So there was a silence on the phone, and I said to her, I'm a very strict person with my patients and sometimes too direct. Yes. And I said to her, do I hit you now or do I wait 5 minutes? Mm-hmm. So no, I put her mind at rest, and she realized that she had to do that. And as she is a very intelligent person and a therapist herself, she knew she should be doing something about it. Yeah. So no, yes, there is a lot of panicking. That's for true.
Yes,
that's true.
But since you mentioned that, and this was my first question, like how you dealing, you as a person with so much knowledge, how a healthy person can get healthier and feel better, how a person with lots of mental or even physical issues can get better. How do you, what is that routine that you're talking about that you follow that makes you being so vibrant and healthy in such an amazing state of health?
Rigor, above all, rigor and discipline. But I must reassure you, I'm very human. I do have my moments as well.
Of course, everybody does. I would lie to you if I don't,
I do have my emotions as well, but thanks to Chinese philosophy, I have learned to deal with them in another manner, so that have a different approach to emotions, more like observing them. I can go down 24 hours where I shut down completely, and my friends know that if I don't answer the phone, if I retire within myself, within my home, it's because I need to process. I do have my own moments as well, of course, but I am being charged with a lot of negative emotion from people around me. My patients, they come to see me and they say, right, I've got this. Now you deal with it. And they discharge all their fears or all their, excuse my French, their shit. And I have to deal with that. So my rigor is part of it, meaning that I get up around 7. I do my prayers because I pray. I'm Jewish and I pray. So after that, I put my Qigong music and I do my routine. This is essential to me. I have to do it. It's part of me. If I don't do it, I feel something's missing. Mm-hmm. And this is something that I have to do. Then I go for a shower, and then I do some sort of meditation in the shower, meaning that I am doing some positive command order to the water. Now, I put a video the other day about the influence of positive emotions on the molecules of water. I don't know if you saw it. So if you can imagine, when you see the difference with a negative emotion it has on water and then a positive emotion that has on water, can you imagine what it has, the impact it has on people, on,
Yes.
on your organism, on your cells?
Yes.
So this is a professor, a Japanese professor, he's very well known now, his name escapes me, but he has there's loads of videos about the impact of emotions on water. I recommend you watch it. So I've known about this for a long time. So I thought, right, positive and negative emotion have an impact on the people, have an impact on your cells and on your immune system. So when I go into my shower and I have all this lovely water falling on me, I think, or say, depending on the mood I'm in, with this water, I wash myself, I purify myself, and I heal myself.
It's like an affirmation / mantra, right? Sort of.
Yes, but since we are living in a world of third dimension, which is duality, and our DNA, that's the way you say it in English, yes, DNA, has got, each cell of DNA has got an electromagnetic field. So there has electricity and magnetism. It has a positive pole and it has a negative pole. So a lot of people with affirmation, they just think about the positive. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And then it works for a certain time and then they fall back again. Let's say, for instance, you want to lose weight. You say, I'm losing weight, I'm losing weight, I'm losing weight, and being very positive about it. And then all of a sudden, you're going to put all the weight on again.
Yo-yo effect.
Yeah. Why? Or you can strive and say, right, I'm going to be successful in my business. I am going to be successful in my business. I attract success. And you have success. But then after a little while, you're going down. So why is that? Because duality. We have on earth the duality between a light and obscurity. So in my affirmation, which is positive when I take my shower, I say the positive part and the negative part. I don't forget the negative part. And I start the negative part saying, although I don't know how, this water is washing me, purifying,
yes,
and healing me.
Yes.
So I have this duality, and I'm staying in the center point, in the neutral point, which is the love point. And there I have the two forces. I just don't concentrate on one force because automatically the other one is going to come up.
Yes, yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, I remember reading this in your chapter. I actually went really deep. I went first time just, reading quickly and then preparing for this interview. Just want to show you guys. This is just from one chapter notes I did yesterday. I mean, this stuff is unbelievable. Martine is such, it's just like a ball of knowledge, of awesomeness. She is able to help patients with so many different techniques, including acupuncture, a technique that I've never heard about, including some sort of heat healing, right? I never even heard about that one before. And then you do different type of physical therapy, right? Chinese physical therapy, and it's just like so many things, and it's all about that energy, the one that comes from the heaven, the one comes from the earth, and you
did your homework.
yes. And it's interesting. I am not ashamed of it. I mean, I can, after all, know everything from scratch, but I was, like I told you before we start talking about it, in the past, I was all about this very, everything is black or white, again, black or white, we're talking about these two of them. But I did not really believe it. I called it a little bit of a woo, the energy stuff. I didn't really believe in it that much. Maybe because I didn't know much. All stuff of meditations, energetic healings, all that stuff was so foreign to me. And I gotta tell you, the more I get deeper and deeper, and I'm obsessive. When I get into something, I go deep. When I started learning about the chakras, when I started learning about energetic healing, I completed even a couple of courses over the last few months. It is a fascinating stuff. Everything that I didn't understand why was happening to me was because I was basically fighting against the universal power energy that I had no idea was pulling me certain directions. So, you know, why didn't I meet you earlier in my life, right?
Things happen in life when they are supposed to happen, not before. Either because
There you
you're
go.
not,
There you go.
it's not right for you at the time, or you're just not prepared for it. But then one day you will be prepared, and then the universe will send it to you. So
yes, and I can tell you, I feel it more and more, literally every day. The stuff that, you know, I can now almost visualize, and it happens, it lands on my, I'm sometimes afraid now to actually have certain thoughts, because like even this what's happening, I was telling this yesterday, how obviously I didn't ever project it the way that it's going to happen, but I was always saying, you know, I wanted to have more time for the things that make me so like involved. Like I love to learn all that stuff, and there was never enough time because I was employed fully, you know, at my day job. I said, if I only had like more hours in a day, guess what? I have all the hours in a day now.
You've got it.
It's just universe deliver. Perhaps not exactly the way I imagined it, but it happened. So Jola, be careful what you're thinking, you know, because those thoughts are powerful AF, as they say it here. Martine, so your routine, let's go back to it. By the way, I want to welcome everyone who joined us on this live. I promise you guys, we try to get into the questions at the end. I'm still learning all that stuff, going live and explaining and going live with everybody simultaneously. I don't want to get distracted. I'm like very quickly distracted. But in my teaching as high performance coach, one of the most important things we teach also about the morning routine, how this is crucial, how this can literally change all your life if you have it. So you are now finished with your shower, with the water cleansing you, and then what?
Then I go to the kitchen. I take my supplements with a big glass of water. My supplements can vary according to what I need. So it varies, it's not always the same thing, except for three things. I always take B12, vitamin B12, because I am 99.9 vegetarian. I take ubiquinol, which is a coenzyme factor, it's Q10, because I have a heart condition from birth. So that controls it, helps me to control.
I read about this as well. Yes, fascinating.
And then I take magnesium. Because of my heart condition, I do have sometimes little attacks of hypertension. So I take 400 milligrams of magnesium, which keeps it controlled. When it does go up, because I had a strenuous day with patients, then my tension goes up. I just sit down calmly 10 minutes and I do breathing. It can go from, I can have, for instance, 17/10, which is high. Then after 10 minutes of breathing and Qigong, it's down to 12/8.
It's unbelievable, right? As again, that breathing thing for me, foreign topic. 2-3 years ago, never believed in breathing. I was going into states of such anxiety. I never was anxious, but there was, when I was nervous, I did not know, you know, and then now I can calm myself, just like you say. My favorite is the square breathing technique, really works well. I've never had issues with sleeping, but if I ever woke up at night, I can put myself back to sleep just by breathing properly now. So it's really crazy how the breathing can, and like you say, your blood pressure, you know, can change within literally minutes, right? Phenomenal. That's so good, so good.
So then I take my supplements with my big glass of water. Then I make my celery juice.
I hate celery. I don't like the word hate, but I do not even like the smell of celery. So talk to me.
Well, celery juice, it grows on you.
I didn't
like first either. For a very simple reason. Didn't mind the taste so much, but what annoyed me was that it takes about 3 minutes to make it, and then you need to take 15 minutes to clean the bloody machine.
Oh my God, yes. I thought 15 minutes to drinking, that would be even worse. For me, that would be all day.
Very good at it now, because I'm just taking 3 minutes to clean the machine. So it grows on you. So I take my celery juice. Then I make myself hot water with half a lemon or whole lemon, depending on the size of the lemon, with half a teaspoon of, how do you call it in English? Turmeric?
Turmeric and ginger, probably, right?
No, black pepper.
Black pepper.
Black pepper, just a little pinch of black pepper necessary to assimilate the turmeric, and honey. Now, because of Mr. Corona, I'm taking special honey like rosemary honey, which helps with your lungs, or thyme honey, which helps with your lungs as well, and is a natural antibiotic. And with that cup, I go and put my face on. Meaning I'm going to put my makeup on.
Don't we all love that part?
And then I go and get dressed, and then I'll go back to the kitchen and make my breakfast. There's quite
and
a
what
ritual.
does Martine eat for breakfast on a regular basis? Healthy way? What do you do?
What do I do? Well, I have a juice of 1 orange and 1 grapefruit. Then in one little bowl, I have 2 dates and a kiwi. In another little bowl, I have kefir, goat's kefir, which are probiotics. And in a bigger bowl, I have a mixture of 3 fruit. Always a banana for the potassium, because of my heart thing. Always blueberries or blackberries for the same reason. And then it varies. Strawberries, papaya, mango, whatever I have in the house.
Yeah. Now, this stuff you're doing daily, right? So this is something you have now with the restrictions. Are you allowed to go out of the house shopping? How get you your fresh fruit and produce? How do you do that? You allowed to go shopping every day? You go every other day? How does it work for you there?
Go twice a week.
Twice a week. Do you have it restricted that you need to have some sort of documents when you leave the house, or it's not like that in Ibiza yet?
Well, you have to, if you're stopped by the police, they ask you where you're going. So I always make sure that I go with a shopping bag so they know where I'm going. And when you come out of the supermarket or the market, you've got to keep your tickets to show that you have been shopping in case you're being stopped.
Interesting. Very good. You know, it is a fascinating thing for me. I am still not a plant only. I eat animals as well. But it is an interesting topic. I read in one of the stories, though, how you were explaining to one of your clients how the difference between Western medicine and Eastern approach to the same topic. That was about the constipation the patient had, right? And sometimes you would think that going all with the raw fruit, raw vegetables, whatever, sometimes that may not be the case. Sometimes you may have to go into cooked food, and all this knowledge that you actually teach, actually advise when people come for help, it's unbelievable. So Martine, tell me more now. So that's basically probably after you finish your breakfast, you go and do your work, right? You work. So tell me, I read you helped over 4,500 people so far. That is unbelievable. Congratulations. You are so needed in this world. That's amazing. So tell me, what people come to you with? What kind of issues?
All sorts of things. It can be sciatic, it can be lumbago, it can be because they can't move their shoulder, stomachache, cancer, AIDS, everything really. And a lot of fertility programs.
Very, very cool. And you know, the one thing that I grabbed yesterday, like going deep into this, that this Chinese ancient technique always looks for the source of an issue, right? And
Yes.
attacks immediately where this comes from. And I loved how you can really pinpoint it, like you said, sometimes from looking at the blood cells, sometimes from just having an interview with the client and talking to them. It's fascinating. Like I would be very curious to hear, for example, as you know, about 7 weeks ago, I got injured while skiing and I fell, right? And I had a fractured scapula. So no more sling. I have a pretty good movement with my arm. I started physiotherapy, which obviously the places are closed now, but I got a bunch of exercises assigned. I wonder, let's say if I knew you earlier, if we were closer, if your approach would have been different of the traditional Western medicine, which, you know, was assigned to me. That's very, very interesting, right? I would like to know.
Well, first of all, it happened on the right shoulder.
Yeah.
Right shoulder, right side is undealt emotion with a male. Father figure, husband, brother.
How interesting. I tell you more. When I was a child, I broke the same arm, this spot, same arm. When I was in Mallorca, I went to this beautiful mansion and we were walking. I was taking pictures, not paying attention. It was very like a rocky path. I fell. I'm pretty fit, so I did not kill myself. However, I landed, and guess what wrist I hurt? This one. So it is something about this arm, you know. Let's watch out, Jola. But
Well,
I never knew about that. No, never heard of it.
In the arm is, funnily enough, well, not funnily enough, the meridians of the large intestine and the small intestine, and another few others, but mainly those. You need to ask yourself, the intestines are not only to get rid of food waste, but they get rid also of emotional waste. So when something happens, you have a pain in your elbow and your shoulder, what is it you're not letting go? What is it you're holding on to that you should be letting go?
Hello. I mean, how powerful is that? That would never even come to my mind. Like I was completely not even aware of stuff like that. Thank you for sharing. I may start reading up on this, or maybe I'll just come to you as a patient to learn more.
Story in my chapter about the lady who had a pain in her arm. She had a pain over here, and it was actually on the left side. It was over here, right? So it was a problem with a lady.
Mm.
So I asked her what was her problem. When I saw her, I knew immediately what was the problem, but I could not say right, because I'm a medium as well. So I see things that I should not see, but I see them. So I asked her, what's your problem? And she answered very aggressively, nothing. And I said, all right, we're not going to play this game for very long. So you tell me straight away, what's the matter with you? Then she didn't want to talk. So I pressed on the button with my finger, on her point with my finger even more. But I did it very strongly. So she nearly was on the ceiling with pain. And then her again, she started to cry. I said, what's the matter? What's wrong with you? And she said, I lost my father and my sister, the two of them in 6 months' time. But my dad was ill, so his death was expected. But my sister, no. She just went in hospital for something very benign. She never came out. So I am very angry at the doctors. I hate them. And that was it. She just would not let go of emotion. That frustration, that anger she had towards the doctor. So I treated her with acupuncture. She cried a lot. She screamed a lot. And she was fine. She only came once for that thing. A year and a half later, she came back with the same pain. And I said to her, what's wrong now? And she said, nothing. And I said, all right.
Okay. We passed that stage already.
Straight away, what's wrong? And then she said, do you know what? My brother-in-law has got another woman. And I said, well, done for your brother-in-law. I said, no, he can't have it. I won't allow it. I said, it's got nothing to do with you. If he wants to have another woman, if he wants to remarry, well, good on him. May I remind you that your sister died 2 years ago? It's none of your business if he has another person in his life. If he wants to be happy again, good on him. And that was it. So just let go.
Fascinating, fascinating stuff, you know, unbelievable. And another thing that I wanted to ask you is, because I don't know if I mentioned, you studied in China, in Shanghai, right? That's where you got your degree. Did you learn acupuncture there as well, or did you learn it later on in life?
Right. Let's get that straight, because there's a lot of confusion about it, about Chinese medicine and acupuncture. Chinese medicine is a medicine by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Has its own physiology, and it has its own method of treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The physiology is the way your organs are functioning, which is totally different to the Western physiology. Nothing to do. So, as you have mentioned earlier on, we always look for the cause of everything.
Yes.
The organ responsible for every pain or every blockage that you might have. Now, acupuncture is merely a method of treatment that is included in the Chinese medicine. So when you do a doctorate, a PhD like I have done, you learn all the methods of treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned acupuncture, which is little needle.
Yes.
Moxibustion, which is heating with a little cigar of Artemisia, which is a herb, a healing herb.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you about more detail, because I've never heard, I couldn't even pronounce it. Moxibustion is called? Yeah. So how does it work? How do you apply this? What do you do? How do you actually heal with that?
We use that for people who are deficient in energy.
Okay.
So it stimulates the blood. It stimulates the energy, because blood and energy go together. Yes. One cannot without the other. Is that the energy moves the blood. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I've got Mira who keeps sending me messages. And are you live? She says, well, yes, I am live. But I'm sorry. So anyway, so we have energy and blood. We can't have one without the other. The energy moves the blood, and the blood is necessary to the energy as a nutrient to be able to move the blood. So you see, one is, so the Moxibustion is a long cigar that you light, and then on a point of acupuncture, you don't put it on the skin, of course, because it will burn. You just go like this, and the heat is being transferred to the point of acupuncture. Now, you can also place little ones on the needle, and you light the little Moxibustion, the little moxa, it's called a moxa. You light it on the needle, and it heats up the needle. So the heat goes through the needle and into the meridian.
Fascinating. I have never, ever heard about that one, but that's great. So that's a second one. Then the third one was
So we have acupuncture, we have Moxibustion, we have cups which are
you put on a skin and they suck the blood out to the surface. Do you believe that this one actually was used in Poland, you know, like I would say historically? I mean, even like my grandma used to use that. Yes, for the lungs, when people had issues with lungs, they would put it when they were sick, and all the blood would come to the surface of the skin, and that was really helping people. So that's called cups. Okay, what else? I did not know it's
cups. The Dietotherapy is not your basic nutrition with calories and things like that, and protein and carbs. No, it doesn't work like that. It's using the food as medication, meaning that each food has got a nature and has a function. The nature is either a yang or a yin nature. What does that mean? Is the thermal impact the food will have on your organism or a specific organ. So yang food is a food that will heat up your organism, and a yin food is an organ which will cool it down. So
yes,
every food has got that particularity, either yang or yin. That's the nature of the food. And then the function. The function is characterized by the flavor of the food. We have basically 5 flavors. We have salty, we have spicy, we have sweet, acid, and we have bitter.
Got it.
And every single flavor will, if not enough, will undermine an organ, a specific organ, or too much will put the organ in excess. So you need a balance. But to have a balance in your food, you need actually the 5 flavors in every meal. So all your organs are being dealt with.
And that's the dietology. Dietology?
No, dietotherapy.
Dietotherapy, yes. Oh boy, that's right. Jola, learn, 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 learn. Very cool. And then there is.
Then we have Twina. Twina is the Chinese physiotherapy. And then you have phytotherapy, which is treating with plants. Now, I did not do the Chinese phytotherapy because you need to study another 5 years for that, because it's very, very specific. And for us Westerners, I am not quite sure, as we have never been used to these type of plants. It might just be too strong, because a few years ago, well, no, about 20 years ago, people who were using that in Luxembourg, in Belgium, in Holland were dying because it was too strong for them. So what I have applied the concept of phytotherapy, of the 5 flavors, to the plants that we have here in Europe. And so I'm treating my patients with plants from Europe. Mainly because I do also cellular medicine, mainly the ingredients of the cells that the cells need. So we have acupuncture, Moxibustion, phytotherapy, dietotherapy, Twina, and Qigong.
Qigong, yes, yes.
Qigong.
Yes.
Qigong is the base of all martial arts, the base of all Chinese martial arts, and it teaches you to move the energy within you. It's a very powerful tool. There are 2 key words in Qigong. It's intention and attention. With your intention, which is actually visualization. Oh, I can't say that word. It's too complicated.
Visualization, yes.
That's the one. Okay. with the intention, you're actually going to move the energy to where your attention is being focused. So you have a pain in your tummy, so you're going to breathe in through your nose, and you breathe out, and with your mind, you're sending that energy towards your stomach to heal it. It works.
Yes.
This is how I get my hypertension down.
Yeah, before I met you, I obviously, and you probably heard about the guy named Tony Robbins. He even says it very like I say, where attention goes, energy flows. This is basically, say it in the shortest way, but it's taken from Chinese medicine, ancient medicine. That's fascinating. That's awesome. That is so good. So Martine, if you were to tell people in this time of disruption, in this very, global pandemic, people going crazy, what would be your advice from the heart right now to stay obviously safe, healthy? We're gonna follow all the general rules: wash your hands, distance yourself from other humans, don't touch your face. But would there be anything from you coming straight to give people like that advice, how to stay healthier, boost that immune system better? Maybe it's too late at this point, but it's still,
Oh, don't say that.
Not too late? No, good.
No, don't say that. Never, ever. That's a negative thing.
There you go. There you go. Smack me. Virtually smack me. So yeah, so what's the best way of dealing with this, in your opinion, right now?
Do not fear. Accept what's coming. Go with the flow. Because if you fear, that the fear will oxidize your cells, and that in turn diminish your immune system. Remember my Japanese professor? The impact of positive and negative emotions on the molecules of water.
Yes.
We're made of 80% of water. So imagine the impact that has. Whatever you think, whatever you feel has an impact on your organism.
Yeah.
We basically 3 bodies. We are physical body, energetic body, and mental body. Now, in Chinese medicine, it's the mental body that always makes people sick, because the mental body will have, let me explain that in another way. I'll give an example. You have 2 ladies waiting for the bus, and it's pouring with rain. And one of them is very happy, and she's happy, jovial little thing. And the other one is in tears because she just broke up with her boyfriend. Now, next morning, the one who just broke up with her boyfriend will have a cold.
Yes, got it. Yeah, one.
The other one will not.
Right. And honestly, I'm a living example of, for years, I would let the thoughts literally drive me crazy. I would be like that sponge that would take negative energy from people, and I'm very positive, upbeat, optimistic, I would say, like a happy-go-lucky, type of person. And yet, I did not realize one time working with someone who was very negative, I was absorbing this energy and absorbing it, and my thoughts were getting more and more negative, and I was not realizing that. Now that I am more aware of everything, I try to control more the thoughts, because they can change everything. Even in last couple of weeks being home, I decided not to watch television a few years ago, right? I'm not watching negative news. I separated myself. I do maybe 2 hours of television a week on average. That's it. But in this time, if something is super important, you have to know. So I definitely check in daily. And I notice when I check my mood, the way I feel, I almost get symptomatic of what's happening out there for no reason, just by the thoughts. So I have to be super careful with that. So it still is, exactly what you say. It is that powerful.
You need to use a filter with what is there. Trust your inner voice. The Tao is, because as I said before, the Chinese medicine is based on Taoism. The Taoists consider that a human being has got 2 brains. One brain is there in your head, and it is limited by the 5 organs, say 5 sense organs. What you see, what you smell, what you hear, what you taste, what you touch. So it is limited. So you're conditioned by what you see, by what you hear, by what you taste. You're conditioned. The other one is somewhere in you. And this brain is not conditioned by anything. It is not limited. It's illimited. What is that brain? It is just the key to open your consciousness. It's your inner voice. A little voice inside you that says, oh, don't do that. It's your gut feeling. So whenever I have to take an important decision, I listen to my gut and ask myself 2 questions. Is that good for me? If it says yes, okay, I'll go ahead. If it says no, okay, I don't. If it says yes, go on. Then I ask myself another question. Am I going to hurt somebody by doing that? And then again, yes, no, duality.
Is gut feeling the same as intuition?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's important to listen to it. I realized a couple of times in my life when I went kind of against it, I did not make right decisions. Yeah, intuition is so powerful. And I think the more aware you are, the more aware you are, and the more you really sink into your own being, the more the intuition actually talks to you, the more you can hear it, perhaps, right?
Well, corona in itself, it's not the virus that kills. It's not. It's the consequences of it. Like pneumonia kills.
Yeah.
The virus in itself, no, it doesn't. So at the first stage, if you have it, okay, not a problem. Just don't fear. Build up your immune system so that you build up antibodies.
Right. So that's why you got so mad at me when I say too late. Never too late for anything. That's right, Martine. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you very, very much. Martine, I am so grateful for you popping in and just sharing all this knowledge with us. This is amazing. Like I tell you, I am obsessive about learning stuff that I'm interested in. And this is it lately for me. I go in and I go so deep. I'm going to check what we have here, if we have any questions or comments, and then we'll see if we can answer this for our viewers. We have some comments here. So, Olya, say hello. Very nice. I have Małgosia. She loves the hairstyle. Don't know yours or mine, probably both of ours. Oh, hi, Mira. How are you? That's awesome. Yes. Thank you so much. Like, I say this much, guys, if you will get any questions, it don't necessarily have to happen at this moment. You don't have to write them right. But if anything comes up, I'm sure you can drop it below this video, and we will ask Martine kindly to respond, right, Martine?
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you if you could share perhaps your social media handles or your website where people could actually find you if they would like to, seek your help with some of the issues that they may have.
Yeah, no problem. So my website is www.estar, which is spelled ESTARMTC.com.
Mm-hmm.
Estar is not a Japanese, it's a Spanish word, it's a verb, which means to be in a transformative way, meaning that there are two verbs for to be in Spanish, is ser, estar. Ser is you are, it's something fixed that doesn't change, and estar is in a transformative state. So you are a woman, but you are angry. Soy una mujer, estoy enfadada. It's two different things. So estar has got 5 letters: E for energy, S for strength, T for therapy, A for acupuncture, and R, another difficult word I can't pronounce, revitalization.
You got it. You did a beautiful job. Listen, you're doing phenomenal. Martine, how many languages do you speak? I'm assuming besides English, Spanish, do you speak Chinese as well?
No, just not enough.
Not enough. Is French or Flemish your language? The language of birth? I mean, the native language?
I speak both.
Both.
So okay. English, French, Dutch, Spanish, German, Hebrew.
Oh, also wir können auch Deutsch unterhalten. Yeah, I speak few languages myself. I'm always fascinating meeting people from that sort, because we are just some special cuckoos learning all this. I love languages, love it. One of my first hobbies in my life.
Fascinating. I just like to be able to converse with people, and I'm learning Italian now.
Yes, so. Yes. I did 9 months of Italian as well, but yeah, I have Polish, English, Russian, German, and a little bit of Spanish, but I bought the whole big software to learn Spanish, because in the United States, this is definitely language you need to know as well. Martine, thank you very much. And on Facebook and on Instagram, what's your handles? Just your name, right? Martine de Petter?
Martine de Petter, and in between brackets, Ahava, which is my Hebrew name.
Very nice. Listen, thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time. You are amazing. It was a blessing to meet you while doing the project of one. I would like to encourage everyone who didn't have the book yet to really get it, because honestly, this is like a gift from all of us to you guys, readers. The book not only gives you the chapters that we write, you know, what was in our heart on topic of the balance between body, mind, and soul. But at the end, all of us, we gave little gifts. Martine, what was your freebie in this book?
Well, I gave two. I don't know which one is in the book now. It's either a Qigong session online or nutritional evaluation. It's in the book.
Yes. So anyway, would love to encourage anyone to just go for this. It's just like unlimited knowledge just from that. Thank you so much. You are amazing, and I really hope to meet you in a real life soon. You know, like maybe just because this launching party didn't happen in Monaco, my launching party won't happen in May, but maybe we all get together for some, you know, maybe south of Europe somewhere, maybe in Ibiza, who the hell knows, maybe in Italy after all bad things are gone.
Not maybe, we will.
I see, I love you. That's what I'm talking about. No, I mean, listen, I'm saying not maybe in a way. I believe too that we meet. I just did not know where. So I said maybe in Ibiza, maybe in Italy. I know we're going to meet. Absolutely. That I agree. That I'm not that negative. Okay, my darling. So I would like to once again wish you stay healthy and safe and do the amazing work you do. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye-bye.